Hi, y'all. I wanted to do something a little bit different with this email and make a hopefully quick and easy video to follow about holiday planning, holiday budget planning. Because typically, whenever we think of holiday planning or a holiday budget, we think of Christmas and maybe Thanksgiving. But for the most part, we just think of Christmas. We don't actually account for the many, many, many other holidays, events, and celebrations that happen throughout the year. Because after all, there's Easter, there's birthdays, there's anniversaries, there's Independence Day, there's Memorial Day and Labor Day if you're in the United States. There is, let's see, if you are Catholic, there's confirmations, there are baptisms, there's first communions. We have lots of celebrations in the Catholic Church. If you celebrate Super Bowl Sunday, that's also a big event that needs to be listed in your calendar, right? So these are all huge holiday planning or holiday budgets that we need to plan for. And so I wanted to go through my process for planning out those budgets. And one of the best ways to do that is I'm going to attempt to share my screen here with you. So give me just a second. Okay. You can just use a calendar, a blank piece of paper, a Google Calendar, whatever you want to do, is to look at a calendar and list out by the month which events are going to fall within those months. Now, maybe you might need to look online to find out exactly when Easter is, because Easter is usually in March or April. But for the most part, most of these months, you're going to know when the event is going to be occurring. And so this will allow you to plan ahead of time your budget and be able to know that, yes, you are going to have food. You're going to have to, spend extra on food, spend money on decorations, spend money on a present or a gift or this or that for those particular events, especially birthday parties and huge celebrations where you're celebrating something for someone else. So that's just something that you really want to do with your calendar, is just write all the different events and parties and celebrations down. And I also like to brainstorm different ideas for gifts, because I know that I can get really excited about gifts and I'm like, oh my God, that would be the perfect gift for Connor. Oh my God, Connor would just so love that. But then if I don't write it down, I tend to forget about that really perfect gift, and then I'm scrambling at the last minute to go purchase the gift that, one, he might not really even like anyways. Two, I might be spending more money than I really planned to spend in the first place just because I'm trying to come up with something on the fly. So take some time to brainstorm different gift ideas for maybe different occasions. If you know that you're going to have weddings that you need to attend this year, write down different gift ideas that you can give at that wedding, whether that's money or a cookbook or something like that. That will allow you to refer back to that whenever you are actually planning your budget for that particular event. And I also like to come up with different ways that I can serve others, because I feel that giving in the form of serving actually means and matters more. It carries a deeper meaning and value to it than just giving somebody a physical gift. And so I always like to brainstorm different ways that we can do that, which of course usually we serve more during Christmas time than we do all year round. I'm hoping that maybe by brainstorming it every year, we'll eventually keep on moving it throughout the year versus it just all happening at the end of the year. So hopeful to make that happen. Okay, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to actually create your budget. And so the first thing that usually takes up the majority of anyone's budget is the food. So you're going to want to plan out for those occasions where you are expected to host the party. So if you host a huge New Year's party, you know that your food budget for that month is going to have to be much larger than normal, because you are going to be paying for the food for your New Year's party. Maybe you guys don't, maybe for Christmas you go to other people's homes for Christmas. So you're not actually having to host anybody at your house, but you're still expected maybe to bring a dish. So you still need to have in your budget that you are going to maybe have to spend a little bit extra money, because you're going to have to make a larger portion of maybe a dish that you normally make, or maybe it's a dish that you don't ever make but once a year. So you're going to make sure that you want to have that in your budget. And again, you're going to want to have all the different occasions where you are going to be spending money on food listed out and budgeted for. And word of caution, there's no right or wrong answer to anyone's budget. Your budget is your budget. So if you are going to spend $100 on food just for New Year's, that's okay. If you spend $1,000 on food for New Year's, that's okay too. So long as you have the money and the room in your budget to spend that money, it's okay. So don't fall into, oh, well, I can only spend this much money on food. No, look at your budget, figure out how much you can realistically afford to spend extra that month on food for whatever occasion, whatever party it is, and put that down. Again, no right or wrong answer. It's just based on your budget and the money that you have coming in to your household. And then the next largest area of expenses for holidays is giving. Obviously, we're giving gifts, especially for Christmas or birthdays. And so you're going to want to have that listed out on how much you are planning to spend for each person on your gift list. And I also encourage you to include charitable donations within this, because obviously giving charity is extremely important. So I encourage you to make sure that if you do give to charity, that you include that within your holiday planning budgets. And then other expenses for travel, decorations, entertaining, all those different things that might just be kind of miscellaneous items that happen for a holiday party or an event. You might want to include those in there as well. And let me scroll down here. Okay. And then you're also going to want to plan out your gifts. Like I said before, you're going to want to plan out how much you're planning to spend for each person for their gifts. If you have children, you get to dictate how much you spend on them. You can spend, whether you decide to make that, an even $50 a piece, make that, we're only going to purchase, 3 gifts for each child. How much are we going to spend? That type of thing. How are you going to plan out your gift purchases? And I encourage you to literally write down the person's name, write down your different gift ideas. Maybe do a little bit of research to see how much some of these gifts are going to cost, especially if you have someone that's really into, tech items or video games or something like that, things that typically cost a lot of money. You might need to do a little bit of research to find out how much those things typically cost, so you know how much to budget for. And so then you're going to want to come up with your budget for that particular person. And you're going to want to make sure that you track how much you are actually spending on that person for that occasion. And you may even want to write down, when you're writing out your gift ideas, what occasion you're planning to give that gift for, just to keep better track of it. So like I said, this is going to be a really quick video. This was not meant to be super crazy, super detailed. It was meant to hopefully just go over this with you, so maybe you can plan out for the year ahead your holiday budgets, and so that this way it doesn't just sneak up on you throughout the year.